Hey, before we get started today, I wanted to mention that Lightburn is having an LBX Expo in Peoria, Illinois at the end of October of this year. Come see us. We'd love to see you. I'll be there along with a lot of other content creators and Lightburn experts that are going to be teaching classes, and they've got a lot of fun activities planned. So come see us. I will put the description and the link to where you can buy your tickets in the link below, and you'll be amazed on how reasonable the tickets are for this thing. I think it's going to be a blast, and I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of people that I've talked to over the forums and over Messenger. So if you have the ability to do it, I'd love to see you there. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about computers, primarily the laptop I've owned for the last year. This is one of the best laptops I've ever had, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about it. This is not going to be a techie video. There's lots of videos out there on YouTube that you can get the very nuts and bolts of this particular model. But what I thought I'd do is just share my thoughts of using this laptop for the last year and the features that I really like. There's one feature I don't like at all, but it's not a deal breaker. And this laptop is a Lenovo Legion. One thing that I really like about this particular laptop is it's got lots of external ports. At running a laser business and doing the content creation, I always need 3 or 4 different connections to my laptop. And that's one of the things that I've always struggled with other brands is I don't have enough connections exterior. And when I found this laptop a year ago, I was shocked on how many ports it had on the outside. Primarily the thing that was really attractive to me is there's lots of ports on the back of the laptop, which is great. That way I don't have to have connections out here taking up my desktop space that I might need either to the left or to the right of my laptop. And so I really like it. So I'll kind of drive you around this thing, show you what it looks like, how it performs. There is there's a price range for this particular model, and it starts at about $1,200 and you can go all the way up to $1,800. Now this one is a fairly loaded model, primarily because my video content needs a little bit more horsepower, shall we say, from a computer standpoint. But if you're just doing mild, if you're just doing Lightburn and you're not doing a lot of heavy duty graphics, you can get one of these, at the entry level at, just over $1,000, and you'll be amazed on how useful it is. One thing I will tell you about this computer that is different from the others, this is not built to be carried around, meaning if you're going to be going and blowing, this is not the computer for you. It's fairly heavy, it's thicker, it's about 3/4 of an inch thick, and then the charging brick that they give you is absolutely huge, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. That's one of the things I just don't care for, but I understand why they do it. So if you're looking for a laptop that you're just going to bring into the shop or your workspace, you're not going to carry it around much, but you do need a laptop for whatever reason, this might be the computer for you. It's got Windows 11 on it, and it's been an absolute workhorse for me. I've really enjoyed it. So let me change my setup. I'll drive you around the outside, show you all the ports that it has, and give you my thoughts on kind of what you can do. The other thing that I really like about this laptop is you have the ability to upgrade it yourself, meaning that if you don't have the money to spend right now and you want to eventually get maybe a bigger solid state drive or more RAM, this particular laptop, you can take the bottom off of this laptop and it's a piece of cake to upgrade. Matter of fact, I just took this laptop from 16 gigabytes of RAM to 64 gigabytes of RAM in about 10 minutes, and it cost me $130. And so upgradability for this particular laptop is excellent. Something I really enjoy. Let's take a look at it. Starting with the top of the laptop, it does have a backlit screen. You can change the LED colors, which is kind of nice. You've got a nice large trackpad, although I use a mouse on mine. It does have a number pad over here. You've got a 16-inch diameter screen. The screen style is matte finish, which I really like. My last laptop had a shiny surface, and I didn't realize what a difference there is, but I would highly recommend the matte screen. You do have different functions, meaning that there's 3 different core functions that you can change from a performance perspective. So if you're just doing light work and you don't want to listen to the fans run, you can go ahead and change those different performance modes, which is kind of nice. This laptop has fantastic cooling. I've ran this laptop really hard at some points doing some 6K video, and it just never heats up. So the cooling ability on this particular laptop is great. Let's go ahead, I'll drive you around the edges and show you all the ports that are available. So on the left-hand side of the laptop, you've got 2 USB-Cs here. These are where your air comes out on both sides. So it brings it in from the bottom and expels it out the sides. On the back of the the back of the laptop, this is really where I was impressed. You've got a number of ports here. So this is your power port where you plug it in. This is a USB-A here, a USB-A here, and a full-size HDMI, another USB-C here, and a network connection. So most of the time, I don't have to use my connections on the sides of my laptop. I'm usually connecting back here, and that keeps all the cables kind of out of my way, which is great. Then on the right side of the laptop, we've got another USB-A, a 3.5-inch millimeter port, and this is a little webcam switch, meaning that this comes with a webcam that's, I believe it's 720p, and if you flip this switch on or off, you just can ensure that nobody can see you when you're working, stuff like that. But you can see that we've got plenty of ports, primarily on the back, which I think is a fantastic feature. Now again, you can see that this laptop is pretty thick. It's not the thinnest laptop around, but it does have a lot of nice features for somebody like me that's just going to put this in the shop, not usually carry it around much. The other thing that I've noticed about this particular laptop is you've got all this area for ventilation, and it's got a couple of little feet that stand this laptop up off your desk. So there's plenty of air that gets in here. It's drawn in this way and expelled this way. And this laptop has never even gotten warm. I mean, I've run it pretty hard, and it's been great. It hasn't overheated in any way. While I've got the back here, I will show you that if you wanted to upgrade this laptop, if you wanted to buy your laptop, let's say, and it had 16 gigabytes of RAM, you can upgrade your RAM just by taking out these 10 screws, lifting the back off, and replacing the RAM is really easy on this laptop. It took me about 10 minutes to do it. I bought some RAM on Crucial's website. It's very inexpensive right now. So I went from 16 gigabytes of RAM to 64 gigabytes of RAM for $130. And I just thought that was excellent. And because I've got all that RAM now, when I'm doing anything heavy duty, the laptop just breezes right through it. So again, so far so good on the laptop. This is what it looks like up top. It's got the nice Legion sign on it. It's not really fancy. It's just a workhorse. It's been a really good unit. If you're interested in the very specifics of this particular laptop, I'm going to go ahead and put the specifics of this laptop up here. If you need to write it down or screenshot it, just pause the video here, and this is how this one's outfitted. I think this one was about $1,800 after everything was all said and done, so keep that in mind. You can either choose an Intel processor, or there's a number of different CPU processors that you can choose with this particular model. And so be sure to check those out. And what a great laptop. Okay, now that I've showed you several of the things I really like about this laptop, and the external ports is one of the biggest selling features for me, but there is one thing that I don't care for, and it's the size of the charge transformer that they give you. This thing is huge. It's very heavy, and if you wanted to buy an extra one, it's like $200. So this is the only negative. They don't make a smaller one from what I understand. So again, this is really the only negative. On the positive side, if I run this battery down all the way and I hook up this 300 watt charger, it takes about 30 minutes to completely recharge this battery. So from that perspective, if you're just gonna buy it, leave it in your shop, you're not planning on hauling this thing around, and this is gonna stay somewhere on your desk or under your desk, then it's really not that big a deal. But like I said, if you're looking for a laptop that you wanna be blowing and going with, this is not the one for you. It's a great laptop, but it's heavy, and this charging brick that they give you is monstrous. I don't think I've ever had one so big, and it's 300 watts, and that's the reason why it's so large. And I think primarily the reason why they do that is to be able to provide a charge in a very rapid fashion for this laptop. Other than that, I will tell you, the upgradability of this laptop, just the fit and finish has been really good. When I took the back off of this laptop to upgrade the RAM, I was curious on how dirty it was going to be, because my shop is just like any other laser shop. It's not the cleanest shop in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I got woodworking going on in here, I got laser engraving, I got lots of stuff going on, and I was a little concerned, to be honest with you, that because this laptop moves a lot of air to keep things cool, which is a great thing, but I was a little worried that there'd be a bunch of dust in the bottom of this laptop. And to my surprise, when I took the bottom off to upgrade the RAM, there was very little, which I was really happy with. I was a little worried about that, but that's not a concern. So anyway, couple of things to think about. There is this particular laptop is called a Legion i5 Pro. And it's got an Intel processor in it. I prefer Intel, but they do have AMD. They have several other types of processors. That's kind of, you know, your preference in that. All of them have really good reviews. All of them are very capable from a graphics perspective. This is almost considered a gamer's machine. And one of the things that I will tell you is I got it. It had 2 terabytes. It had 16 gigs of RAM, and there just wasn't much I could do. But once I started with the larger files on my content creation, I needed a little bit more RAM. The Lenovo laptop that I had before this one came with a half a terabyte hard drive, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and from a Lightburn perspective and an Affinity Designer perspective, it ran fine. So don't think for a minute that you need a $1,500 laptop if you want to get the next model down. The Flex 5 in the Lenovo is a great model. It's about $800 to $900 if you wanted to go that route and you weren't worried about doing a lot of Photoshop work or high-end graphic type of programs. But if that's something that you're doing, Lightburn doesn't need a lot of system resources. So I didn't buy this because Lightburn needed it. I bought this because of other programs, primarily the video editing and the photo processing and that kind of stuff is where I kind of wanted to be with this. And the good thing about it is there's not very many laptops around that you can upgrade yourself, and it's really easy. That was the other thing that I wanted to be able to do, that maybe if I didn't have the money now and I just wanted to buy a fairly lightly loaded model today, that down the road I could go ahead and upgrade either my solid state hard drive or my RAM, which is very attractive to me. So that's something that I just thought was kind of a match made in heaven. So give this some thought. If you're looking for a laptop, certainly consider Lenovo. I think the Legion model is great just because of all the external ports that it has. And let me know what you think. I sure appreciate you hanging in there with me today. If you like the content, as always, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you have the ability to hit that thanks button and support the channel, I'd sure appreciate it. Until next time, thanks and have a great day.